Nelson Mandela. Looking back at my life, I never imagined that I would experience incarceration not once, but 3 separate times, each under vastly different circumstances that would ultimately shape who I am today. The first imprisonment occurred when I was barely 21 years old, a consequence of poor decisions made during a period of financial desperation and misguided friendship. I had been struggling to make ends meet after dropping out of college, working multiple minimum wage jobs that barely covered my basic expenses, when my childhood friend Marcus approached me with what seemed like an easy solution to my money problems. He convinced me to participate in what he described as a simple robbery of a convenience store, assuring me that the owner was well insured and that we would face minimal consequences if caught, a naive belief that would cost me dearly. The robbery went wrong from the very beginning, as the store owner had recently installed a silent alarm system that immediately alerted the police to our presence. Within minutes of entering the store with makeshift masks and trembling hands, we found ourselves surrounded by patrol cars with their sirens wailing and officers shouting commands through megaphones. The terror I felt in that moment was unlike anything I had ever experienced, as the reality of my situation crashed down upon me like a crushing weight. My first imprisonment lasted 18 months in a county jail facility that was overcrowded, understaffed, and filled with individuals who had made similar mistakes or fallen victim to circumstances beyond their control. The experience taught me harsh lessons about the consequences of desperation and the importance of making better choices, even when faced with seemingly impossible situations. My second imprisonment came 7 years later, when I had seemingly rebuilt my life and was working as a construction supervisor for a reputable company in the downtown area. Unfortunately, I had developed a serious problem with alcohol during the years following my release, using it as a coping mechanism to deal with the stigma of having a criminal record and the constant struggle to find stable employment. One evening, after consuming far too much whiskey at a local bar following a particularly stressful day at work, I made the catastrophic decision to drive home instead of calling a taxi or asking a friend for help. The accident happened on a rainy Tuesday night when my impaired judgment caused me to run a red light, resulting in a collision with another vehicle that seriously injured a young mother and her 2 children. The guilt and remorse I felt were overwhelming as I realized that my selfish decision had potentially destroyed an innocent family's life and forever changed my own trajectory. This second incarceration was far more severe than the first, lasting 3.5 years in a state penitentiary where the conditions were harsher and the population more dangerous. The facility housed individuals convicted of serious felonies, and I quickly learned that survival required developing alliances while maintaining a low profile to avoid conflicts with various prison gangs. During this time, I participated in substance abuse programs, anger management courses, and educational opportunities that helped me understand the root causes of my destructive behavior patterns. The experience of watching other inmates struggle with similar issues made me realize that addiction and poor decision-making often stem from deeper psychological wounds that require professional treatment and ongoing support. I emerged from this second imprisonment with a newfound commitment to sobriety and a determination to make amends for the harm I had caused to others. The third and most recent imprisonment occurred under completely different circumstances, involving a case of mistaken identity that would test my faith in the justice system. 5 years after my release from the state penitentiary, I had successfully maintained my sobriety, found steady employment as a warehouse manager, and was even considering marriage to my girlfriend, Sarah, who had stood by me throughout my journey of rehabilitation. However, my past criminal record made me a target when police were investigating a series of armed robberies in my neighborhood that bore similarities to my first offense from over a decade earlier. Despite having solid alibis and witnesses who could verify my whereabouts during the times of these recent crimes, the investigating officers focused their attention on me due to my previous convictions and the matching physical description provided by witnesses. The wrongful arrest and subsequent legal battle consumed nearly 2 years of my life, during which I spent 14 months in jail awaiting trial, while my court-appointed attorney worked tirelessly to prove my innocence. The experience of being imprisoned for a crime I did not commit was profoundly different from my previous incarcerations, as it filled me with righteous anger and a deep sense of injustice that threatened to undo all the personal growth I had achieved. During this time, I witnessed firsthand how the criminal justice system can fail innocent individuals, particularly those with prior records who are presumed guilty until proven otherwise. The eventual discovery of the real perpetrator, a man who bore a striking resemblance to me and had a similar criminal background, led to my exoneration and release. But not before the ordeal had cost me my job, my relationship with Sarah, and much of my accumulated savings. Each of these 3 imprisonments taught me valuable lessons about personal responsibility, the consequences of poor decision-making, the importance of maintaining sobriety, and the flaws within our criminal justice system. The first taught me that desperation does not justify criminal behavior, and that there are always alternative solutions to financial problems if one is willing to seek help and work hard. The second imprisonment showed me the devastating impact that addiction can have not only on one's own life, but also on innocent victims, reinforcing the critical importance of seeking treatment and maintaining accountability for one's actions. The third experience, while unjust, demonstrated the resilience of the human spirit and the importance of maintaining hope and dignity even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. Today, I work as a counselor for individuals struggling with addiction and those recently released from incarceration, using my personal experiences to help others navigate the complex challenges of rehabilitation and reintegration into society. My journey through 3 imprisonments has given me unique insights into the criminal justice system, the psychology of criminal behavior, and the extraordinary strength required to rebuild one's life after incarceration. While I would never wish these experiences on anyone, I am grateful for the wisdom, and empathy they have provided me, enabling me to make a positive difference in the lives of others who face similar struggles. This personal narrative of experiencing 3 distinct imprisonments offers valuable insights into criminal justice reform, rehabilitation programs, addiction recovery, wrongful conviction cases, and the challenges of prisoner reintegration. Understanding the complex factors that lead to incarceration, including financial desperation, substance abuse disorders, and systemic failures in law enforcement, is crucial for developing effective crime prevention strategies and improving our correctional institutions. For those researching topics related to prison reform, recidivism reduction, addiction treatment programs, expungement procedures, or support services for formerly incarcerated individuals, this first-hand account demonstrates the importance of comprehensive rehabilitation approaches and the need for continued advocacy for criminal justice improvements.